This year sees a new lineup in the BMW camp, with last year's privateer champion Marco dos Santos joining 1994 touring car champ Sean van der Linde.
No big changes at Nissan, with three-time champion Janelle de Villiers backed by Duncan Foss and Mark Peters in the works team, while their efforts are being bolstered by the addition of the two pro cars of reigning champion George Bezuidenhout and Marco de Cunha.
At Opel, last year's combination of Sean Watson-Smith and Dion Joubert remained in place.
While at Audi, Anthony Taylor and Terry Moss will be joined by privateer Neil Stevens in the retired Chris Aberdeen car of last year. Janelle de Villiers took his 28th pole position of his career when he went fastest in qualifying for round one, with Anthony Taylor sharing the front row in his Audi.
Janelle, 28th pole position of your career, the fastest lap we've seen in 3 years in a touring car. What's going right with the car?
Well, I must say I'm very surprised. On Thursday we didn't think so. As you know, we're using a new Dunlop tyres for this race, I think for the next two meetings, so we didn't really test on it, so we had to set our car up to sort the Dunlop, and we struggled a bit on Thursday, but eventually we got it right, and it was just one of those perfect laps which you get right, and when you go over the line, you know it's just a good lap, and you won't actually go any faster, so it was good for us.
Well, it certainly was, as we joined the field on the parade lap just before the start of the first round of this year's Bankfin Touring Car Championship. Looking back from pole man, Janelle de Villiers, to Anthony Taylor, just behind him it is Sean van der Linde. Well, this should be a good one.
It really was a superb qualifying lap of Janelle de Villiers, but the cars are that much closer this year. I think we're going to see a very exciting race for round one. All the cars qualifying within a couple of seconds of each other.
And the lights have turned green and away we go. It is Janelle de Villiers taking the lead from pole position, with Anthony Taylor lopping into second position as they go through Nashua corner for the first time. Gearing down that gearbox, hard on the brakes. The tyres are not quite warmed up yet, so the cars will be sliding around a little bit on the track surface. Surface is very slippery because of all the previous races, lots of rubber on the road there. And down into Goodyear corner now, it is de Villiers from Taylor, from Sean van der Linde, then Sean Watson-Smith.
It's going to be interesting to see at the back of the field, Hendrik, Duncan Foss in the second of the BP Nissans. He qualified as, who's that going for on the inside? That's Watson-Smith, just sneaking past van der Linde there, and then Terry Moss having a go on the left-hand side. Three abreast as they come into the first of the S's. Bit of a bump there.
Some bumping and barging going on. We're still on the first lap, and a great move there by Sean Watson-Smith, and moved up into, what is this, third position.
Well, Watson-Smith had a fantastic second half of the season last year, did win a couple of races. He won that one by default almost when Marco dos Santos went off on the last lap down in Velcome. This is the fastest part of the circuit. Sean van der Linde in the first of the BMWs.
Hitting 190 kilometers an hour, and already at the front of the field, both Janelle de Villiers and Anthony Taylor have moved away as Terry Moss goes through, and some bumping going on there again. This is a robust drive right from the start.
And van der Linde having a look on the outside now, Watson-Smith. Where's Sean? There he is. And it is Watson-Smith. He's right on the heels of Terry Moss. This is the sort of action we're going to see in touring cars this year.
Absolutely, Jonathan. A great battle there for third position as we're coming up to complete the first lap out of 12. Race order, Janelle de Villiers starting off the way that he wants to. Second position, Anthony Taylor, then Terry Moss, then Sean Watson-Smith, Sean van der Linde. 7 cars fighting it out for third position. What a great start to the season.
Well, as we go in car with Sean van der Linde in the first of the BMW, you can see in front Sean Watson-Smith, battle scars already. It's got a flapping bumper, and that was with that little altercation earlier on the first lap with Terry Moss.
And certainly not the first altercation in this race. We are due to see a lot more.
Well, I can't believe it's still only we're on 1.5 laps, and we've seen Como Jackson as van der Linde has a go at Watson-Smith now on the outside as they go through Goodyear.
Well, Watson-Smith is looking at Terry Moss in third position. He's definitely going to try and close that gap. And all the while, the two leaders in this race, Janelle de Villiers and Anthony Taylor, pulling away, and obviously they're pulling away because these cars are keeping each other extremely busy. In car we go with Sean van der Linde through the Winfield S's, and just look at the way that they crank these cars over, slipping and sliding on those Dunlop tyres. We can talk about the Dunlop tyres a little bit later on once the action has subsided a bit, up onto the West Bank shoal.
And here's dos Santos being challenged by Mark Peters in the second of, and there's Joubert. Dion Joubert bumps into Mark Peters, nudges through. There goes Duncan Foss. Duncan Foss, the man had a major gearbox problem in qualifying. He started at the back of the grid in the Bankfin touring cars, and we'll be seeing Duncan, I'm sure, coming up through the field as Watson Smith slides out a bit.
And he's taken Terry Moss.
Lovely manoeuvre there.
Up into third position goes Sean Watson Smith. I tell you what, this battle is far from over.
We'll be interested to see whether Van der Linde can get past Moss as well. Terry Moss drives the widest Audi on the Bankfin touring car circuit.
Coming up now to complete lap number 2. We are only 1/6 distance of this first round of this year's Bankfin South African Touring Car Championship, and still this battle for third position furiously being fought out between Sean Watson Smith. There he is.
There's Terry Moss, and we're in car with Van der Linde as he goes down the outside of Gassetne. Is he going to go through the inside? Oh, Watson Smith had to hit the brakes very hard there, otherwise he would have hit the side of the Petronas Opel.
Beautiful move there by Sean van der Linde. Jonathan, he placed himself brilliantly down the inside through the Telkom sweep and up into fourth position now, but Terry Moss is not going to give up on this one.
Well, I was just going to say, I wonder if Terry's got a problem. In half a lap, he's gone from third position down to fifth. Here's the battle. Duncan Foss, Marco De Santos, new in the BMW for this year. He was the first privateer in Bankfin touring cars last year, and he really does deserve this drive. But he's got Dion Joubert all over the back of him at the moment. Mark Peters going to slip through on the... Oh, Marcus knocked Dion Joubert. That's Peters knocking Dion Joubert. Dion, fiery character, won't be happy about that.
Forward we go now to lap 7. We've reached the halfway mark, and still the bumping and barging is going on between Sean van der Linde, he's in the BMW, and Sean Watson Smith. The two Seans are really getting into the thick of things there. Watson Smith just reminding van der Linde, I'm here, and if you make the slightest little mistake, I'm going to come through. This is still the battle for third position, and still it is Neil de Villiers leading Anthony Taylor way up ahead on the road.
But they've been locked like this now for 7 laps, and it's lovely to see this sort of action in the Bankfin touring cars at the first round as well. Hopefully this will augur well for the season.
Well, I think, Jonathan, one has to say that one of the reasons probably why de Villiers and Taylor have been able to pull away, we're just looking at that move down the outside by Watson Smith.
Oh, little nudge there.
Again.
Bit of bodywork flies off, but...
is probably, Jonathan, because of this battle. They are keeping each other so busy, taking all kinds of lines, breaking at not the ideal positions and things like that. And Duncan Foss is doing well.
Well, Duncan Foss is coming up. He's having a look at Terry Moss. Terry Moss, I'm sure, has got some sort of handling problem. But still, these 4 cars locked in it for third place. It's great to see.
Well, Moss is defending against Foss, and Foss is pulling away from Peters. I think Peters might also have a bit of a problem. There it comes. Bringing up the rear of this group of 5 cars.
Look at the speed of that Primera as it comes down the fastest part of the circuit, and they do bump at Terry Moss sliding out a bit. I'm sure he's got a handling problem, but Duncan going through the inside there? Yes, indeed.
Great drive there by the Nissan number 2. Absolutely fantastic.
That'll give him the position for the chicane. In fact, he's already in that position. So Duncan coming up through the field, and still 5 laps to go.
There's a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7. Mark Peters has closed up again.
Got the flapping bodywork of Sean Watson Smith in the Petronas Opel as they come in to finish lap number 7. And as you said earlier, Janelle de Villiers and Taylor, they're just running away from it. Let's talk a little bit about those new tyres.
Well, the problem is, of course, for the Touring Car Association that they could not renew the contract with the Yokohama tyres that they had the last year or so. And there are no ready-made touring car tyres available at this stage. So they are using the Dunlops as an interim measure, and we know that Continental down in Port Elizabeth are developing tyres specifically for the Bankfin Touring Car Series.
Well, the Bankfin Pro cars are already running on Continental tyres, aren't they?
The same that they are using in the Polo Classic Cup Series, indeed. So the problem is for these drivers that they don't know what these tyres are going to do. Should they go hard from the beginning, or should they conserve the tyres to make them last until the end? And I think these guys are actually not even thinking about that.
Well, I know all the teams have done vast amounts of testing over the closed season, and everybody seems to be that much closer. We're looking at this battle for 3rd place still. Van der Linde, Watson Smith, we've got Terry Moss still there, Duncan Foss, and then Mark Peters. 5 cars running neck and neck with
little mistake there by Terry Moss, just went wide, and I think it's got to do with the handling problems that he seems to be having.
And that's allowed the Englishman Mark Peters to overtake him and go into 7th position, but Terry's having another look on the inside.
Oh, it's amazing. Down the Caltex mine shaft, and here comes Terry Moss. as they hit 190 kilometers an hour. It's going to be an outbreaking maneuver by Terry Moss as we look at Sean Watson-Smith taking a look down here. Whoa, and Moss goes wide.
He must have a handling problem. It seems to be all over the track since about lap 5 or so.
Talking about the Pro Cars, the Bankfin Pro Car Series, there is Colin Hasty. He's leading by a country mile from George Besaidner, the reigning champion. And in third position in the other BP Nissan dealer team, Primera, is youngster from Mpumalanga, and that is Marco de Cunha. And we go forward now to the final lap of the first round of this year's series, and Duncan Foss is carrying the scars of battle.
Well, he must have had a go at Sean Watson-Smith, and the two of them have come together. It's only superficial, though. I think that's what's been so good about this race. No major accidents, bit of superficial bodywork damage. We see Duncan Foss's car there. We've seen from lap 2 already Sean Watson-Smith's bumper flailing a bit, but it's not serious, and the crowds love this sort of bumping and barging.
Sean van der Linde still holding down third position now, having pulled out a nice substantial gap over Sean Watson-Smith. Then the two BP Nissans of Duncan Foss and Mark Peters still in the lead at this stage on the final lap. Canil de Villiers, who is going to go for his 53rd career victory, setting a new record in terms of victories in the South African Touring Car Championship Series since its inception 8 years ago. So in second position is Anthony Taylor. The gap between the two of them almost 3 seconds at this stage. And here comes Sean van der Linde.
And Watson-Smith in the Patronus Opal, and Foss and Mark Peters having a go at Duncan Foss. Here is Canil de Villiers.
And the second car there is second place Pro Car driver George Besaidner. There comes Anthony Taylor, also coming up to lap George Besaidner, who is still lying behind Colin Hasty.
So starting the season as he finished last year with a win, lights ablaze. That's Canil de Villiers' first win of the season in the BP Nissan Primera.
And a great drive as well from his teammate Duncan Foss, coming through from the back to fifth position, and 4 different manufacturers in the top 4. Here's confirmation of your results. And Colin Hasty also ran away in the Bankfin Pro Car category from George Besaidner and Marco de Cunha.
My car was really good from about lap 3 onwards, and we actually set it up that way to be a bit aggressive in the beginning and then get better, and the balance was just perfect. The guys did a good job, and I'm pleased to have a win under the belt.
Celebrations on the podium, and it's great to see those 3 different manufacturers in the top 3.
And the taste of champagne also to Hasty, Besaidner and de Cunha, filling the Bankfin Pro Car podium. All set for the start of round 2 of this year's Bankfin Touring Car Championship, and once again Canil de Villiers had planted his car on pole position. Duncan Foss had sorted his problems out to share the front row with the defending champion, with the two Sean van der Linde and Watson-Smith behind him on the second row. Well, over the line they go as Canil de Villiers leads the field. Start of 12 laps of action. Once again ahead of us, Duncan Foss slotting into second position. There goes Sean van der Linde into third, just ahead of Sean Watson-Smith.
In car with Duncan Foss, second in the championship last year. In second position, Sean van der Linde letting him know there, just a gentle little nudge. And I think this is what we're going to see in Bankfin Touring Cars this year. Looking forward from Sean van der Linde to Duncan's car, and he says, Duncan, don't forget I'm here in my BMW.
Well, Duncan Foss and Canil de Villiers had the better drive out of Nashua Corner as they speed down through Goodyear Sweep. And already the two Works Nissan Primeras are pulling away as the Pro Cars bring up the rear of the field. And I'm pretty sure that Duncan Foss in this race is going to ride shotgun for Canil de Villiers.
Well, I'm sure he is, but already a bit of bumping. We've got Anthony Taylor. We're in car with him. He's looking ahead to Sean Watson-Smith in the Patronus Opal, and then in front of them Sean van der Linde in the BMW. This is where the battle is going to be. We saw in the first heat 7 cars battling for third place, but Taylor going to have a look on the outside as they come up to the top of West Bank for the first time.
Van der Linde defending, Taylor going around the outside. Watson-Smith, some smoke pouring out of his front tyre as they speed down the Caltex mine shaft.
Already a bit of bumping there, and look at this, almost 4 abreast as they come to the fastest part of the circuit. A fast sweep, and then it's hard on the brakes as they come into Verticom. There's the 2 Nissans, de Villiers and Foss. On the outside, we've got Anthony Taylor, and there comes one piece of bodywork over there.
Marco dos Santos in the thick of things. He's still struggling to get used to the rear-wheel drive. Last year drove a front-wheel drive Primera. Next, going up to Watson-Smith, and also the left-hand side drive. It's It's a difficult thing to do that. And he dives down the inside. A beautiful move there down the inside by Marco dos Santos, down the inside of Sean Watson-Smith, and up into fourth position now.
Well, if you see the front headlight of that second BMW, already got a bit of a dent on it. You see dos Santos. He's followed by Sean Watson-Smith, and then the second Petronas Opel of Dion Joubert. He hasn't had the greatest of weekends so far.
Not at all. He's been in the thick of things as well. Well, I said that dos Santos was in fourth. He's actually up into first position.
Well, here's Anthony Taylor right on the boot lid of Sean van der Linde as they race towards Goodyear. Is he going to have a look on the left, have a look on the right? No, it's on the outside he tries, but he's no getting through there. And that's George Besaidnout in his Pro car, spinning on lap 2.
And that will drop him from second down the field in the Pro car division, still being led by Colin Hasty. He's in the Spaniard car. Then comes Marco Acuna now in second position. Smith and Duplessis bringing up the rear of this little group.
But it's back to third position as van der Linde and Taylor. A bit of bumping again as they go through the second of the S's, and it's up to West Bank, and there goes Dion Joubert. He looks like he got spun round by somebody. Was that Terry Moss?
Well, he's very lucky that he wasn't hit by anybody there, and he's rejoining the race, but way down the field. It seems like a little bit of a mistake.
And there's the Englishman Mark Peters. Looks like he's out of the race. The Nissan crew check him over, but that's Mark Peters out of the race on lap 2. Back in car with Anthony Taylor in the engine Audi. He's in fourth position behind Sean van der Linde.
And still the battle is continuing for third position. The two BP Nissan Primeros of De Villiers and Foss pulling away, and van der Linde is still defending. Anthony Taylor is attacking into the Yokohama kick. He's going to try him on the outside. No, not this time. And Marco dos Santos is also right there. He's waiting to pick up the pieces. And there's Sean Watson-Smith. What a fantastic battle for third position between these four cars, and it's definitely not going to end this way.
Well, Sean van der Linde, the way he's driving at the moment, is allowing his teammate, who we're in car with at the moment, Marco dos Santos, to catch them up. There's Anthony Taylor. He's weaving about. Is he going on the left-hand side? Is he going on the right-hand side? I don't know if he's going to get past Sean van der Linde. But look at that slide from Anthony Taylor there in the Audi.
Van der Linde, the 1994 champion, he knows his way around the Kyalami circuit. He's been here, he's done it, he's got the t-shirt.
Another piece of bodywork comes off there, Hendrik.
And a nudge there.
Oh,
a little nudge by Sean Watson-Smith.
And
Marco dos Santos
just forced his way past dos Santos. I'm sure Marco's not going to be happy about that, but a bit of bodywork damage rubbing on that tyre from Watson-Smith.
Well, still, I think I noticed that right at the beginning of the race, Jonathan, and I'm not convinced that it is tyre smoke. It does seem like it's coming from the bottom of the car. Watson-Smith is watching this battle between van der Linde and Taylor ahead of him. Now van der Linde is still defending. He's got the inside line. But Taylor has got the inside line for the second one of the S's. Now, if they can just stay side by side, Taylor is going to go through.
It's almost a replay of the previous lap where they're both side by side at the second of the S's, and they're side by side coming up to West Bank again. And Watson-Smith going to have a look at going in behind van der Linde. Is he going to get through? Well, there's another little nudge there.
Fantastic driving by all three of them there, and it really takes a big heart to go side by side through some of these faster corners. This is a battle that has the crowd on their feet as they go down into Vodacom Super Bowl again.
Well, I don't know if it's just a big heart or big something else, but Anthony Taylor having a go once again with Sean van der Linde and bumps him. He's still there, and so is Watson-Smith, and they're coming up to the Yokohama chicane once again, the slowest part of the circuit.
And the part that most drivers hate. Line astern, they go through to complete another lap. So they come up to Gazetta corner. Anthony Taylor goes in very deep, and Sean Watson-Smith takes a defensive line against Marco dos Santos. And Taylor got the drive. Look at the way that he's pulling away from Watson-Smith, and here is the battle still carrying on.
Well, this is for third place. This is great stuff. Dos Santos got the line through Gazetta corner here, but he's got the outside line for the next corner. And they seem to be dropping back slightly, Watson-Smith and dos Santos from van der Linde and Taylor.
And there's our Bankfin Pro car leader, Colin Hasty, ahead of Marco Acuna, and there isn't much between the two of them. Acuna has been struggling with a down-on-power engine, but he is holding down a very solid position. George Besaidnout has recovered back into third place, but I cannot see any change in the order unless something goes wrong with the leader. As we go forward now to lap number 8, and still This battle for third position. It is still Anthony Taylor from Sean van der Linde and Sean Watson-Smith.
Well, Watson-Smith going to have a go on the inside here. Is he going to squeeze through? This will be interesting. Is he going to barge his way through? Well, yeah, what a manoeuvre. How did he get through there?
That is quite amazing. I mean, Sean van der Linde...
No, he didn't. He didn't. That was the second BMW right behind him, De Santos, and there is Marco going to have a look on the inside. Is he going to go through? Gosh. Watson-Smith went from having a look at Sean van der Linde to almost being overtaken by Marco De Santos as they go across the line.
Third, Anthony Taylor. Fourth, Sean van der Linde. And now this battle for first between Sean Watson-Smith and... Is he going to go through
nobody's giving an extra. Well, there's Watson-Smith, and it's De Santos that goes round. He's into the kitty litter. I don't think he's going to be coming out of there very quickly. In fact, no, he's not. Wheel spins, the real wheel spins, and that's the end of Marco De Santos' second round of the Bankfin Touring Car Series.
That's the resolution of that little battle, and I'm sure there are going to be some words between the two of them afterwards. This is Colin Hasty in the Spaniard car, still leading from Marco de Cunha.
That's in the Pro Car Series, the sort of detuned Pro Cars. Marco de Cunha in his second season, also Colin Hasty as well. And Colin really ran away with race one. Looks like he's doing the same again now with champion George Passano way back. Right, it's back to Sean Watson-Smith, who that exhaust smoke seems to have got that much worse after that little altercation with Marco De Santos.
Oh, that car is in a very precarious position on the outside of Nashua. This is Anthony Taylor in third, Sean van der Linde in fourth. Then comes Sean Watson-Smith.
Yeah, and
Old Smokey in fifth position.
Seems very strange that after that incident, as we go forward to last lap, and it's van der Linde now having a go for third place against Anthony Taylor. And is he going to get past there with the two Nissans?
Oh, mistake there by Taylor as he goes wide, and van der Linde tries on the inside, and makes the same mistake as Marco De Santos. Pays the price for it. Is he going to get out? He beautifully kept the engine going.
Well, that's the second time in almost the same position we've seen the BMWs go off, but Anthony Taylor seems to have got away, and so does, it seems like, Sean van der Linde's bumper. So there's Anthony Taylor.
There's Terry Moss coming up as well. The man has been struggling the whole weekend. Sean Watson-Smith has gone through into fourth position. This is Anthony Taylor now, very lonely in third. Watson-Smith coming through, still smoking, but it doesn't seem to affect the car that much. And here now, the battle between van der Linde on the inside and Moss on the outside.
And is that bumper going to stay on for the duration of the race or not? I don't know. Terry might catch it up. He's going to have a look on the... And van der Linde just straight across in front of him. I don't know if that was the right sort of manoeuvre, but he keeps his position. And Terry has a look at the back of that bumper at the BMW, and Rob Holder and his team at BMW are going to have a lot of panel beating to do on Monday.
Well, I'm sure that the handling of that car is not what it should be, and Terry Moss coming through up the shelf. We're on the final lap, of course, at Westbank, and Moss moves up into fifth position. They only have one more.
And van der Linde still having a go there. You can hear the bumper in the background, but still the fastest part. Here are the two leaders.
Race leader, and there is Marco de Cunha going through. He's just been lapped, second position in the Bankfin Pro Car Challenge, and
taking second race of the day, Janelle de Villiers in the BP Nissan Primera. Second place, his teammate Duncan Foss, and we await third position.
Well, there's the results. De Villiers getting full marks for the day, again setting the fastest lap of the race. Well, Anthony Taylor was excluded because of his car being found to be underweight. Hasty again took the Bankfin Pro Car category, while young de Cunha held on to second position ahead of the Slater.
And as far as the championship standings are concerned, Janelle de Villiers gets off to the best possible start to lead van der Linde, Foss and Watson-Smith by 16 points, going to Port Elizabeth this Saturday for the next two rounds.
The all-conquering Nissan team took up their familiar position at the top of the podium, and they now lead Audi by 29 points after the first two rounds of the championship.